so and you no motion you bit me to yaba it is a year can say can Japan so what see winning party in chain will be a party for the grassroots will chain will be a delegates will chain will be a the first Ebola yeah and say young akono men discredit the panel men can the panel one self factor or the court the old bit my trade delegates no Peter and Pat what's your factor 4 years Edubuan here when you come out beyond for discredit here Edubuan Sana person ye rani adiano sana benya ye debe ko but who ko rani say na ally yana okay say 2014 ally ka say you can google demographic for a story ye di akufa do ko 2016 I be lose so that's what Alan said omun na ki ye sa campaign in 2014 and anye so and no was saying ko this share this remo lo ogun say ye ko akwa can be a woo bit in your yet. No, because you know, say, Nipana, I don't call Mamma Fanning for you more. Why?
Awali. There is also this message inherent. Some honorable Canadian Japan. I can't. But sir, who social media no so. Sir, netizens I didn't afaswaro as a shouldn't ye. But it was as if say no can be say in 2024 elections, and yeah, Christopher Kra to Obama Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Did you deduce that from Kennedy Japan's message?
Yeah, because Central Region from 1996 up to the last election. Osha Bakatama, the winning Central Region, we've lost Central Region only twice since 1992. Twice, and I lose Central Region as an NPP first party. Naya Kono was started checking for checking people within his own Central Region, say, or they make sure somebody lose. So, how of thinking. You have the video. Okay, so they make sure somebody lose. Again, Nana, yeah. Way A plus na that kind. Up to now, they can't say yellow play. A plus unknown.
All right, I'm saying Yelusu Awal Muhammad ewo line or so, but let's see. Awal, are you on the line? Okay, Yelusu Awal ewo ahobado so, but I believe say Koba person did digidano. Yedi newi live here on SOMPA 106.5 FM. Yesaka Ora Adumako Kisi Honorable Prekope, former NP for Anyaso Utum, now a spokesperson for Brian Achampon. Sabre Menokase, Wajina Kunja Eufidima. Honorable Makwaba. Na Bokore.
Bokot Zentafo.
Nantafo, Intafo, Bokore.
Buy one, get one free. It's Union Semperco, but I want to we are
okay. That, but baby, so Brian, what to say?
You did kind of member about so.
Sure.
More management part more.
Sure.
I think the fourth estate certainly a media, and say or minor. A team for bit team in Chechimua Momano Eboa and over Sanamo year Mujima during COVID. I think we cannot discount media role. Honorable by Champon, so we were as usual, he's doing well.
Sure.
Young and fit, and then the men's MBA our I'm say. Or the notice to Edra. Pina and Teas here, but may use opportunity at Kamun 7.
Sure.
The tension here, I will say, parts and you do a certain crossroads. And I think the weekend, the Croano, it may be a play out. A chess, we are truly at a crossroads. A funny affair in Tessie and Sadanyijma, Obia Candia, Ope. But for him, no, or Srema unity. in Kabum. Now, face so what stress party no main fans original morals being a code of ethics.
Dr. Adwan, let's say phone ube pija kakra.
Oh, okay.
My feedback.
Okay,
That's fine. That's fine. Good.
Party no initial ethics and morals and principles are guided party over the years. Now, Australia say you better revisit it. Ideals no. Set the MPP apart. Now face over the years you can't be our far through the mail. Brunibeka, why headquarters staffer. Sometimes no ne yera Jacob Ichebi and nomine Ejuma. What tries to whom Almighty to whom several times. It gives you an experience of attempted parliamentary prospects. Beyond that, no, so he's been successful as a fourth-term member of parliament. Ewo Abetifi, Wabe Minister of State and a great minister. And I think his experience there, Okitebi, or science, I think a very successful businessman in this country. A fun-free. I don't go for any for Rock City, but in truthfulness, no. The main bane technology related. The PhD Okitano is in technology, information systems.
Wow.
So that's my Sinti. That aspect, not go for the real deal, no. Information systems, and then Okitani MBA and seeking additional PhD in securities. It's academic side there. Okita neho and doctor at the moment. Now uyi ni na everywhere. I think his key thing is wa pound nkofo kakra. So munko tie diaspora for no yeka diaspora wa onim nkofo wa ma no ne.
Yeah.
Their sentiments matter. Omo feeling about party no very important. Into so muntie omo na faithfuls are your form has no. As in, on my Ghana muno, yes, on some yintie, na onche, say, vision crano for a mebunjuma, and a infrastructure, and a near my bebo mino, so the tuja na a beye juma mine there. Then I think by the end of June, no, based on feedback from Lebano, Obeba. No, Kasa, as to the way forward. In CBC or so running for he has not made a statement so running for flag bearership. Nemum, I think that based on feedback I'll be from the committee, he'll be able to make a very firm decision. Now, Abraham say it's almost like doing a feasibility study. That's my say because a very weighty decision.
Sure.
Very weighty decision. Now, Yabeka Sibema, and your dance and why then. Yes, me has a mundaya.
Oh, there be.
Ain't the long and short, no, SOTT. Now, and the crack, no, I think, sir, the biggest thing for him, unifying the party and also, return to the core values of MPP. Very important. Until through this, I think by end of June. Or early July, yebeti onwankasa nenumunsem no dia tuja.
But quite surprised, Onyang fa nenumunsem mfentuja, and it's like his name is everywhere. Usha MPP fu bi no mudin komo. What they say is that Brian Sobo, Brian Abawi, and you're telling me a friend or feasibility studies and the kind of response or and based on that response, answer our respondents say so be contest, that's all contesting. I'm a bit surprised because Brian is everywhere.
And home from I don't know. And
from Anini.
We are from it's I think it's a matter of time, but personally, there I must admit, the temperament, fantastic.
Wow!
And looking at some of the happenings in there, I'm guided by history. The temperament of a boy. Mekasa one. I mean, this Obia or very disciplined based on the military experience, and we may as a soldier kakra, gentleman kakra, business kakra, sika kakra.
And I was a Ghana fan because I was feeling soldier kakra.
I know there. I mean, well, maybe I say, wouldn't say American, no, American women. It's a soldier for more benefit in Tino. Omo problem who cry na omo worry because worry no for even 1 month for so dear woman so worry
so Jenny
once opa crow nja or chinichi who yes set who no buy a set and that's one of the things but I think that discipline bibia o mine
yeah no, but you being the spokesperson for him, I mean himself. And I know, sir, you should have some information that we don't have as regards from where you sit. When you get deep down yourself, you are good to tell us that he's contesting the 2028 primaries in the New Patriotic Party.
Yeah, you're afraid be preemptive strike. Preemptive strike, but. I cannot do that today.
You cannot do that
we
today.
We need that authority.
You don't.
But I think that if the wind not twice there, he will have no choice. So, I'm from Anoa Kono, and a lot of things are working. I mean, in his favor to an extent. It meant to me,
okay, good. But last week on this particular show, we had is it Alex Tete?
Yes.
Make some serious allegation. I caution him. Oh yes, I cautioned him, and it was such a serious one, and I just don't know. And you tell me that it's because of that you are here, but before we would even make you react on it, we as a media station, after I just went, I dove deep into the whole thing. I was like, I made certain calls trying to figure out, say, some of that brand in the camera, is he really real? Because he had really mentioned the Ministry of Agric. So I had to do some background checks and those things, but what he says, I didn't get. So for me, as a media person and representing this particular radio station, we want to say we're sorry for allowing him carry out that particular story. But I want to say that per the checks that I have done, those messages that he churned out about Brian Achampon is not true. I did that.
So why you made mama me?
Oh my, yeah.
But there's one key thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I should know. I think that even on your program, he was very specific. Even about a duration. Not Brian the minister.
Sure. True.
And I think that I don't need to even talk more because issue no po a whole dia. At that time, Honorable Dr. Brian Achampon not on yet the substantive.
So, but from where you sit, issue no a whole dia and I say whole dia.
No, Team you. Mrs. Simple. May I've not worked at the ministry.
Okay, that's fine.
No. Period Abranti and Ekano. Now Honorable Brian Achampon was not the minister.
Sure.
I mean, it's almost as if you want somebody to answer for a period when he was not substantive minister. And Ghana for Nabekaya, I think that Yera Okuto say Eje Musa or call for presidential ambition. No?
Sure.
And Yera, Nanado a droppé or basically they resigned from office in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So that's in a nutshell, period in question.
He wasn't
there.
He wasn't the minister. Good.
He wasn't there. And that's the key thing.
Sure.
Sir Hunsam said there, from a public accounts committee experience. Yes, if he was minister after, he would have to answer to issues even before him. And not there in Braquine. So, and I mean, every minister of state has to answer to questions related to the ministry, even though the past government was MPP. But so who's Abujinapo answer to energy about ABR Napo timer, it doesn't mean that Abujinapo is responsible for those happenings. But what I'm saying, a government machinery, how it works. But from my experience, more importantly, at the time of the supposed incident,
he was
Dr. Brian Champo.
He was
not at post.
He was not at post.
Portfolio.
Sure. Thank you so much. But quickly, Maminko Kwabena Ampon in Chengo, a member NVC Communication. Kwabena Ampon, Mima Kwaba. Now, to say, good. This is the first time I'm meeting you. Now, NVC was say more than I say more.
I'm saying in every different dance. Papa baby, I'm saying you didn't know me go home. I'm be answered today. I'm don't be adumi. The Ghana for a show my boss here. I'm saying Mube Kwanswa and I'm be admama.
Now you say this is for striking. What do you say? Because I'm about for.
Oh, this is for
also why I'm ready. You be also why I'm ready.
Oh, this is for the crown. The BI abotre.
Yeah.
As I say, I say, near Casse, as I say, you're too near them. Your course were but Omobemo near science 10 day. BBI governance, but maybe my dance is a government and abotre. In terms of Beccatress is for no, and by
man cabo trail.
Beccacho, Monsieur Omunya abotre. The Tuniama, that you won't can now, you better near common man, Ghana, your coin.
Yes. But I just say one more meeting beyond where I don't know, producer. Check for me whether they are done with the meeting. The outcome of the meeting. Okay. So we can give to our listeners. I'm with you. Young lecturer. Hey. UPSC. Hey. A man of a hawk crowd.
Oh, so far so good, the DMC. So far so good. Bibia Massa, you know. About Pies because I am.
Oh, Bibia Mai. Hey,
Yamiadum.
What's sitting you?
Yamiadum.
What's sitting you?
On Robert.
Over the week, what pursue so many political platforms, but maybe I say. Issue better catch your attention over the weekend.
Oh, I think so far so good. Yeah. Number one is the E-levy issue. Yeah. HS aban papa na ye say abano. Ye geka say abano na wo say onfa eto ma na as at a point to share amount for push train any omo commentary ni ade a na say to bi ama ye mfa bibia me hagana for. And all of a sudden there is the need, or we are told say Bibiaba and I be because we say Yeshena ye adjusting yama. For which reason there is a new levy a buying a person what they buy. In fact, I go through parliamentary proceedings ama. Mentia simple president in power signing. And compare especially on social media. Say any E-levy need the end was through the end form. So E-levy no say 10 utia thousand or send 1,000 one CD and
memoir.
No, that be said. Social media.
No, so how many percent?
1%.
1%. So it's just about 1 CD.
Yeah. And I was that we also know. So 100
CDs is 1 CD.
100 CDs is 1 CD. Yeah. So 10,000 will be like 10 CDs.
10 CDs.
But when you say number 42, over 100 CDs be on my bed number 42. So people are going back and forth. Say the end song, the end. So these are quite some interesting issues. Say your media space. So as at now. And I think so there was something interesting about cheddar. The bodyguard be in some people's thinking or my handle will be an
blue bobby
or said Bema 10 gram on 1 more trade or DC obi kokoswa
Uncle Kuno. Because maybe your boy, you know, oh, they do a money chest. Patrick. The Patrick of blow this. And then I want to target Uncle Kuno.
Yeah, that was,
and that guy must be arrested.
Well,
the police were picking up.
I mean, yes, so yeah, but there has been some press conference.
I mean, who some press conference?
Wabe part.
A chop or be pie.
Say, so I think the man was also in that press conference, you know.
No, he should have been picked up by the police by now.
Well.
Yes. Because I can't remember a woman. And you can branch any who can one. Who should be the punch and the boys as well. Go, now can't remember. I don't know police were up to now, young children, and all they are waiting for say Nipana Kasaba complaints and they are question. But must that be always be the case? How?
So be contest you shed niema bebre na bro abom ni niema because the cost no
now we waka
and ampa ense ehwe obi nsore keke
my young can't do so let me know.
No, where prelims
you didn't come. Honorable
Hiti. So I can say. So that is bad, but it should serve as a caution to various bodyguards are one more a day and paying for a nanty. Because anything you do, no, ultimately, you know, the burden is shifted to the person opinion I wouldn't nam. It is a one nam no one act here. Oh, grand obi anymore, obi ambodi. So, wona penyin na one nam no, say penyin na ye be boni din. Until we are saying say sa de ne de omunyai. E be kra anka cha dan kasa no. To be on the safer side no. Me anka me ma ya che bodyguard no. Yo yes, me say me ka be me ma ya che bodyguard no. Me bodyguard no. Me sacrifice no.
They been trying best of the same feather, so they may actually. I'm going to
best of the same feathers. What was the channel to blue?
No. I think that's not a fair comment to me. That's
the student in Canada issue communicate.
Oh, that's all my issue communicate. You have not seen it,
Prof.
Yeah, maybe. You have not seen it. My issue communicate. I don't know, Patrol. As for that one day, and maybe other fine and you withdraw.
And one married draw.
So that's fine. And apologize. How about you communicate? Patrol, okay, so my yes, I'm free. Your friend is a media. Dako. I don't know. So I delay via by. You don't think, sir? Then who be here say based on the issues I almost say nya sika nkonkoton fan be power thermal plant yi ni niema kanea ke sorry kanea de da dumsum ni niema Miria
Prof,
are you necessary or you think there could have been some alternatives?
Well, I think say before I answer no, me make it a scenario we na fe. Ye answer ye be right. My response in them.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, abofra wo school. Wakwa could do JHS3. Say, kwai sebe ne modern mon so any school dem ho. But also tro BC. You see when you yakọ PTA meeting say o yendi diska na yempe apo bi man kra na o montwire ntwa. Ntino ya be diska na ma kra no na ya tapo no na wa twa na question is say aso okudu SSA obetimi ato aso ade na ye chere no obetimi esua the oppressor oil no obetumi abeye dache because omaya ewu mu yensu ni ye ban say enkwara no so omusua de ewu mu last year ye pe apo route to be the amomo na ya the disca man vigilator said be omegu omusem na enkwara na pass. What is the relevance to this issue? Yes say omaya no enyinam ahoden sem bi ni adenko yi e ka bi da baby aso ye di disika yi na se egba no se de aban ne ehwehwe no na se ye disika ne ma aban se aban dia with the problem be solved ana ebe te se sa secondary school ni akwala na ya di disika top ama ne se wontwa no nko no because odidi mu an obe pie university na fe ye hwe eyi obi a na ye treasure so dey make from na oba late ye bisa say na e dey ntina oba late ye treasure you know you are supposed to be also say my way is far.
That's just a me kwa. My way is far. Direct translation.
Yeah, the enough ye twina from one or the aba bedu ho say. So we begin to see the issues at the base in ananka e was ye solving a yan solving aba bedu ni say. Me ka dey say. Abai say ye hia sika. Ye de atua fu oka. Ye hia sika na ye de
atua IPP sika.
Atua IPPs. Ye hia sika na ye clear
debt na
legacy debt. Well, I wouldn't go into why na ball kakese, why na more kakese. And then the MPP na NDC for the meeting I said na my issue is, where did we begin from? How have we transitioned? Ena ehefana was here. Because there was this post on the Ministry of Finance on page, and that was on April 23, 2025 year.
Okay.
And Minister of Finance Nekase was say the energy crisis, no, it is the biggest economic and fiscal risk presently facing Ghana. So, ofa Ghana problems na se we see in Senyeni so ade so mu pa na ni ha as a yan solving ene ana otena ade oyi ne beba omayi mu no the energy sector crisis.
Okay.
And in fact, ohwe sa new act ya ye dia ya Energy Sector Levies Act 2025 Act 1135 na. That same statement is also made. Say, paragraph 2 of that the power sector is the biggest economic and fiscal risk presently facing Ghana. So, if the energy crisis is that dire, say emu say emu rema, ye did just say one city aso ye best solve the issue nana. This is not something for me to answer, but let's look at the options. Now, you say, is the one city the best option or it is the easiest option? In any case, Dumso and our energy issues no in fact, the first ever serious one from my research somewhere around 1983. Sabrina isu Ghana no. That was the first time. Any energy issues. Ye free hono 1997 we faced it. 97, 98 we faced it. 2000 we faced it. 2006, 2007 we faced it. 2011 Besi 14, 15 put na e dinamu kra gidigidia. Ema dictionary po ebe recognize the word doomso. So if we have had this issue consistently, the question is not how much can we take to resolve the issue. The question is what is the issue? And there are reports upon reports from government sector, from private energy producers and all that. And everybody understands. And even when you read Sarfo and you shortfalls and debt. Shortfalls nature say ECG na oye ejuma na wamaye enyinam ho omaye enyinam kane amede ye ejuma no omo sika no bi wo ha omo de kodwa so a ema ECG didwa eboka. And it is not an issue of and then a buy so party way buy na it's a long standing something. I don't want us to go into say mona mo bokagu na mona mo bokagu. We know it. That's why I've given you the trajectory say. From 1983-84 we've had issues with energy sector crisis. How have you been managing it until basically in 2025? We
are permanent solution.
Right? And OSHA as our new act here, Omodia Baya. Almost say it is to support the payment of energy sector shortfalls and reduce energy sector legacy debt. So the shortfall, no, if we hear debt, no, if we hear if we are not asking the critical questions of the shortfall and the debt, we will just be dancing around the situation. I better say akola na ye to apama netwa akọ school no. So now let's come to the shortfall. Now I was reading this document by Center for Global Development somewhere 2017, and Nipa or Troy was Ebenezer Nyakunkumi 2017, and the same issues: shortfall, debt. Shortfall no, in discussing shortfall Nyema Miruna omo identify. Said the transmission and the distribution of energy, there's a shortfall. And say whether it is Akosombo and I say any thermal plant be you call into agreement with, especially the IPPs. No, say any enkra ha no moti enkra ha nkwa no moti di omujuma ebia ebi wo akosome wo se wo de ba ha ebi wo ha wo so de ba akra so omo produce from where omo plant ni si no na omo edi fi ho na ba bedru Tetima omo di fi ho na ba bedru Kumase Brekum Domano.
What problem now?
That is transmission.
Okay, that's fine.
In that transmission, ECG boka. Because omo wires now omo de air transmission a week at that cables into ye lose energy na ke was ye transmitting. Afei ababedru Tetima VR mu na ye de ko afiefiem ye de ko nwunwu mu no so we also lose value. In fact, as at 2017 na make a report we know. Na shortfall no 21.7%. Which means say ma ECG 100 cedis. So only drama ya na on my enyina mahoden a before na ye be bop no kra no adi kia boka 21 cedis. Ya ma 100 cedis udiga. Sabi say wonya afa so mpo amokasa. Before any other issue would come, ECG eda form 21%. As at 2024, na transmission shortfall nkwa 32%, which means that uma ECD sika se onko di gamra oko o maye ye mesese no we di kia boka 32 cedis. These are not today's issue. These are issues from the past. And what I want to anchor my argument on, it's one statement from this book, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter Woodson. Or say, the conditions of today have been determined by what has happened in the past. And in a careful study of this history, we will realize the great theater of events to which we have played a part.
As a Chinese saying,
Adibia asi eneno, ensi kwakwa, eye niema bi efiri nkantete, ena abo anu ama na bedu sei. Na ye tenase na ye sese a ye behu ye nso ye tefa e was our problem no. So we can't just play politics around it and just be NDC, NPP. And yesterday, Saturday, na me share news file and government spokesperson Ofusukwachi against Miracles
Abuaje.
And I was watching the argument. And I quite say, yeah, pretty table for the bit in your cast, Mama Nasinia. So the economy energy sector was criminally managed by the NPP. Which is we are now being governed by a group of hypocritic, braggart, liars. Yeah, the question is, what have we done about this issue? So the kind of say, ECD maniska 100 cities onko di damra, all call all my we can about 32%. What is the other issue? Yen timamufo no, yen businesses, and a buying ECD na we can about 32, we can about 32% that one. Say or ye duma we na or my energy so a na need to answer akoyede. So there's a shortfall by way of revenue. ECD intimi the sika akodi nkofo. Yentiko we mu na last year parliament. 1st March 2024.
I will let you advance your argument, but I understand say a meeting a GPRT for near bamping for no. Sabri my meeting a ntini enkonkotie a outcome. Ebushafo yenya the deputy spokesperson for GPRT ora Samuel Amwa ewa hamano so. Na Samina design.
Prof me hoye pa na onso e.
Ebushafo be so me hoye. Na meeting no mo wiara.
Prof ye meeting ye dia kwa wie.
Na gina ebe na musiye.
Me da say Prof ma minchia wati for me mama iko nso ye dwumaden amobo amonhu me da de bo man Ghana. De o munyana ne say no kre yakoshia. Say ye dede nyina na ensem mienu ni ensebi na na how. Say number 1 Ghana na omode eto petroleum product no so no ade bia eba beji sika foforo free ebotom. Ifri say da no ya na yete ye lorry fare so. Ayi nim de dia fango bo ni gina aye de te lorry fare no so. Enti no say be kokoba ne say other things aye kan wasem kra nya ma from na say bo nso ye de eba be kan we de be ha yen. Na number 2 aban so ne anka bibia ma yen so your questions bia etimi abisa no. Enti ne ehwe nim say bibisa yakoye major stakeholders no esesa nka ban ne to nsa frɛ na ye won sensem bia ebisa o mo say de be ya yen so ye be fia ifiefo me kire ya hyenkafo no ebisa bibia yen so etima kire mu akire om te no ana na ye nsem a ye kan no ntie kan say sa ban ntime ntu sa na mo ne dia na kire say ye nyina ye de ye hyen ebisi ho a ye nkɔ adwuma ɛyɛ nyame adom a ɛkyena na ampa yɛkɔhyiaeɛ no say ye can ye how you natural me di kan kɔ mo te ase sɛ from man frɛ yɛ ne deɛ antwa yie man pɔm gye to mu sɛ na ɛsan kɔm fɛ na ɔmo ahyɛ bɔ sɛ going forward nya de bibi saa besi number 2 ɔmo san kyerɛ yɛn sɛ baabi afango bo no egina a ɛyɛ yesuro sɛ bi bɛsan aba bɛka ho no ɛnya de a ebi ba bɛka ho na saa wanga na ɔmo de to so no ɛnya de a ɛbɛ reflect ma ɛbɛ add another cost ɛwɔ pump no so ebi sɛ bisa ɔmo nsɛm bebree na mo nkyerɛ mu ɔmo de ma nyinaa ne sɛ ɔmo nhyehyɛ a ɔmo ayɛ ne sɛ ɛnya de a another amount of money ɛba bɛka ho bio ma yɛ kɔkɔtɔ fuel na ɛde ka foforo bɛbrɛ nti sɛ deɛ yɛ nyinaa yɛhwɛ sɛ yɛbɛtumi aboa ma ɔman Ghana ayɛ yie nti no yɛka kyerɛ ɔmo sɛ saa na ɛteɛ deɛ a ɛne yɛbɛtwe yɛ strike action na sensɛn for the meantime ne yɛahwɛ sɛ si a yɛka sɛ deɛ fa ngo bɔ no gyina baabi gyina but GRA akasa implementation nso no ebe hyɛ aseɛ coming 16th nti yɛhwɛ anim akɔsi 16th ne sɛ yɛkɔtɔfuo na yɛbɛkɔ no na ɛte sɛn sɛ ebi abɛka ho a yɛbɛfɛ yɛn ho adwen ebi amɛka ho yɛn ho nso a na kyerɛ sɛ deɛ ɔmo aka kyerɛ no ɔmo di ne korɛ ɛde ama yɛn nti me ne wo ka sɛ saa na meeting ɛkɔ wie a ɛne nti no yɛafrɛ yɛahyɛnkafoɔ ɛbɔ ɔmo amanneɛ sɛ nyame adom ɛkyena ne nade kyee no obiara tumi kɔ n'adwuma na mumu yɛnhwɛ anim nkosi sɛ implementations no bɛhyɛ aseɛ na yɛahwɛ den sɛ den ɛna ɛbɛba ɛwɔ pumps no so
okay
yɛkɔsi yɛkɔkɔsɛ ɛfango a
yo but maame mi sɛ na ɔmo nkyerɛ mo ɛkwan ko a ɔmbɛfa so a saa one cedi no ɛba bɛka ho wɔ abrakra a mu de mu hu ana saa kwan na ɔmo nkyerɛ mo ana
ɛmi sɛ ɔmo technicalities bi ne ni ɔmo ka me papa bi na ɔka na asɛm ɔse kɔtɔkio kɔ so ways bi a ɔmo de keka ka ɔmo nsɛm but wo sɛ yɛ deɛ yɛhwɛ anim a no sɛ yɛbɛkɔ pɔmpo no so na pɔmpo no nsesaeɛ ɛno ano yɛ
david owura mo a same woka ne same ne wonya adwen because I know you pa sɛ woyɛ obi a woyɛ mfimfini mu anyɛ bi anka wa mo nkyerɛ mu no na nka wo so watie no wasopam no waba bɛn akyerɛ atiefo mu
menua ɔmo nkyerɛ mu ɔmo de ma ne tɔfa nyinaa ne sɛ sesei no dollar no ɛɛba fam na dollar na eba fam no OMCs no omu yisu dollar and omo de koto air fango no ediba enti se dia omo so dollar ni mu se dollar na eba fam nti no ebe gina so ma bibia ntimi nkosoro no saa kwan no na omo fa so a omo de be hye se de ebe ya fango bo no en saa wan Ghana cedi no enko ka ho ma fango bo no ensa nkosoro na ye nso ye hawo ne se ye be kokoto no ehunu sa de no wo soro that is the nchiremu omo de ma yen
ti sabre sɛ mekɔ akɔtɔ fuel a sɛdeɛ boɔ no teɛ no saa na ɛbɛteɛ
saa pɛpɛɛpɛ ɛna ɔmo ka even at all they even promise say it's likely crash going forward in the crap on the best time to me drop aba from of which we are yet to see that say they will go by their word that
well ras I mean yenya ntie sɛ mo adamafo bi mu are reverting to the old price na mo gye no Sankrofo no then I will catch you because as a lady be a friend no complain pa say all price now mo before the 15% reduction I buy and e bi mo asa go back to a year sa abo no sa driver for no then I catch you
prof the American nyina say say san complain bi my akachi na mo wakan so de minim say wo de unya kapene dem trodo the amefo afudi kasi so akachi driver for nyina say fango bon be de gina e na gina changes bi amae penimfo di omonim a ye hwe ma ne ma nyina atoto yie mo bia nkosesa transport fares no 15% na yatia free so no eno ana eye adwuma ekoba se dia mpanimfo ne yakana nsakra di ba na sisi etu anamon bia ebe ma o maso ate ne nyina so yetimi ano etimi akobankum ti ebe sere mo bia enkonkoje bodada no na ne aye gi sisi na yete so 15% ne yemfa nya adwuma sabre
ba wanya ntia se nyame adoma by 15th of June year 2025 year ewo mu yi fango bo ebeba form wanya santie no
oh I'm say ye call no kra no say me ka say on my promises say you know that
okay
so on my catch yen de obi kan ye hear him say seeing is believing ye hear him say betima baso sa na ye nyina ye ho atima hen
enti ekoso aba form a mo so no mo besa ate transport fares no so ama na aba form kakra ba ye ho
abochi unze ye what percentage threshold bi a ye use say drop ya ne blue sa ho net ba for ma de bia me kan say ye check fango born na edu sa 10% threshold no down was na fi akwa check other component no so na ya share say if it calls for kind of saying reviewing of the transport fare, then quickly we'll do that. You know, transport fare drop here. That is what we are praying.
Okay, but before I be jam what's the last time no my threshold be say full not me babe 12 Ghana cedis per liter and a mono musumo bete washenti abuo no so na the next threshold no enu be den ansa na musumo asate so.
Okay, so since I know say previously me no nkomodie na me can say edu around 12 cedis na che say edu baby say yete so say no baby ayate so no Ghana for enemon central for mo market price na enfanto reduction bia ba na say ye check percentage no na do percentage na sign e do 10%, okay, e do 10% na a free 10% na samba from pepe, then it calls for review of a kind of saying transport fares, but then also no normally no yenina kind of saying petroleum product no so we also check on the other component of which yekoshia say spare parts for ni ade omoya ye bukata mabesi na omo pese omo ti omo de so no e no so abe yo how can say pa de amaya back ye ko ikura po no ye ni omo di hu nkomo say omo nhwe na omo nso ntimi ntiti omo ni ama so bi say ade ba ko pese o ka ho a na okukuru sika ni nyina na o de akoto no asan betena faako.
Ora samola mo ma na say o ma ho kwan ma ye ne wo din nkomo nyame nkoso ehira da bibi che adwen a ye be sa ba wo nchen abeje mo e why. Yes, we had as a pass over Jumedian or so. It's a minute, I land the mammy wine. I mean, go a minia honorable Adumaku Kissing Chene, Yenu Kasama in DC. It's Yana Landi Mammy.
Okay, Prof. Intiname de Manos in Ameche say last year near Tikroma say first match near say Parliament the Kebi or more than for ECG. And that was not the first time. Actually, somewhere 2023, 20th March. At the time, na ECG, eka 3 state-owned enterprises. Enyumaku esa abaya se, aya abayin de emiensa pe, eka bumu ano mo de abay ECG for 46.9 million Ghana cedis. Se enyumaku na parliament ka ho. Airport Company Limited na ka ho, na GBC. We mu miensa pe no mo de ka 46.9 million. And so, if we have this by way of shortfall, na CSE ne dollar na kosro petrol conformity, are we going to pay for people's incompetence or we will set up and do the right thing?
All right. So you hold it there for me. That's a question you have asked. Are we going to pay for people's incompetence or we are going to hold the people to do the right thing? That's a fair question.
Yo, Prof.
Yeah.
Adebichi madwen so.
Denga.
No credit. Omo me bo ma baso so mu yi 11 don.
Okay.
Na eno no me yana no pa. Na enyumre. The enyumre no Andrew no. Na omo de dia su chain 11 no. I'm a boss. And me kai me di ya kakra because me kai atwade blues a moon pabwai to 2 year name course our parliament by the then opposition NDC4 ana enumpone percentage na me free me cross Santa Maria Bahano me kind mobile money vendors I work coin so na me kind driver for coin so la ila now to say for one vendor 1,000 drivers. For one vendor, 1,000 trotro. For one vendor, 1,000 okada. And see, Ujin say, excuse me to say, said Nanke chrono, the announce a chrono way, the annoying thing, papa, because
you are 10 minutes as chrono.
Sorry.
Okay,
me can't say, Alan Babin catch and say, we are signing our exit out of government by instituting e-levy. Which is a small boy, or compared to Levia. It's an never been to pushing for a few weeks. And never be crying. I say, be a business you just computerized and software is some upgrade. Now it's me at one Ghana now, obviously a den no. By the end of the day, some MPs no way. Then answer, and me Kaiser to force now say, you're bedding Ghana for people are more hardship more. I mean, it make kind reasons are to force in the two jar. Not only as I say, yeah, taxi Ghana for, and then me dream papa. Me I'm a politician, but me beat me papa.
I beat you.
In fact,
I beat you in what way?
Because MPP can say be 11 if you. And this is also kind. But Sena the Benkumu ye, the Nifabed at Bifra Ade Abeshaho. And really no Potokase Mekase have been scandalized. This 1 Ghana per liter. Per
liter.
And we drew chain 11. And no the fact. And then say you bet can go from one widen tax base no. Who's gonna make us say, oh shit, the Padodo used to mobile banking and I see levy. There's no way almost doors to change drivers.
Oh, there be so Udi Ukofa Omo mobile banking. Now they assess the number of people are into electronic money transfer. It will be unfair because you and I account.
Oh dear, Fayed account.
Yeah.
But my point is that
yes.
Petro you boo or mine no. Masa. Several.
But about for a transfer so.
Oh, but opinion transfers and bro Petro talk in a day.
How do you measure that?
No, nothing no there is factual. Oh dear, share by virtue of volume of petrol no more Ghana in a day. Hey, and yet say energy sector profits a year quadruple that of telecommunication, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Energy there and one can what's my saying the key point they say in very simple terms, no driver no at top petrol now. Passengers no mobile. I know there you are a business that only say a carnival over but you transfer to the
but this is the case where we've just spoken to the deputy PR person for GPRGU, one of the driver unions. One year because
I didn't hear me going to say what corner catching and say a cano or bear cost. Now we business now buying say or budget tour 1 city. Now as a businessman, no sorry, coffee say I'm buying so budget tour so member car. It's the most ridiculous thing. Here no crowd say I mean show. Say energy sector. Abia or profit in 10 cities are. Now we are buying 0.6 Ghana cedis. So buying say 0.6 Ghana cedis now we no for 1 Ghana can never brand. What o profit so what increase operational cost. As any solid businessman, ochna or the better ochitechi obe factor no into pricing. Into an antisem no mo to no munjai. Sas can free a actual expenditure to say for any business doing sales of fuel. Now come on, we share letter and put better. And I make a very simple example. Say every liter I'm buying 0.69. So say oh the 1 Ghana 69 and a be cool. Into what and for basic business management, Sakano obey to defray that cost. Now who will get them?
So maybe say not still then from where you sit as a former member of parliament.
Correct.
Representing the New Patriotic Party for Anyasu Utrum. Say put them ho. Say can you engineer so obekasa.
Oh, obey the MPP. Jen de ka say your or how more a buy no deca into a babaji tour and said da Ghana for bread.
I saw
where taxes Okay. That's what I say.
Okay. Be specific with the tax.
When you said the any kind of say, oh, combining COVID-11 in Bomumpa, this still is superior. Enti meno the argument that me making is say then answer because more na more catch and say Ghana for bro. Sebeta fracture say bia na kedofoyate ni fra. More na more catch and say Ghana for bro. Enti me enye den. Me enye 20 na de mo ba ya. Aboa no fidie no echi na ne sunko. Eja no so ne sunko. My whole point is that the NDC administration and the people should come and tell us in fact near politics. Because we were who Jinapo as ranking member. Energy problem nyene no bika. This will be air kwa na no answer no mo kone. My point is that ombe kanu krenche Ghana for say no kwenya menim Ghana ye wa hunhemu enti eto na NPP 4G and in fact I don't know they not consolidated fund mu and away so here beko.
Obviously it's not going to go to the consolidated fund.
At the end of the day, a bit defray government expenditure. But what man say? It's money as beautiful as it is, they say fungible. Sell it to iron rod box mu and now they to a dria box mu. It is fungible. It doesn't matter really. Sell it to consolidated fund. Say a can't be if we consolidated wakutia ECG now general a hard yakutia is the same thing. Now the highest priority to Mahama Minyana and Kemeka and Selpeni reduce the wastage at ECG first. Reduce that wastage. We reduce we now catch him and say dia kano enye ye de sa subwe na emba modia. I think it will be fair. But no credit omo boyen asuma and san oma mayedro anum. That's what they are doing.
All right, so thank you very much, Dr. Adamako. Mamin Kobinia, Kwabra, Ampon and Chen. Kwabra, my name's Signet is saying, good. What's the various submissions?
The ecosi,
then the ecoso.
Mestre, or mine here, chichere. Ena, MC, need you one dance here, say, MC, minu crack can say, the year comes to see a the dada be. Ena, AC.
Since 1983, right, per the report on the mine.
Intino, see a chitri or maya. Nasi yina jitum say issues we and yen nea. I didn't say yen say. I didn't say, I know ye no. A conny say. And you can say you play politics, but this thing. Ebium Yaba Abemono. I'm said proud to our election. Proud before and after Niana say past government neka say oma solve dum so which the campaign impo e louder bu nyina atiase but yen kan kwenche ho said the course nyina ye adanko dada adre na obian solve issue bi aman it is senne problem na ba ni abet kofo gina simpie so e kan krache Ghana for ni be hwe issues no na ya tackle na hu de be boa Ghana no yen kan ye play politics with it inti mesre minuan mesre mi senior man say no credit sa mo me kan credit che Ghana for me anya ne say bia aban de eto bi ba na foforo bi na ba ka bibi hu aye ka so yemfa bibia anka bibia hu eyeto explain.
I explain.
I will explain.
Now, one city you 1 liter.
I will explain. Yes. Pacho dollar nessing. You see a link or a link come. On the old Casa Minabotre, the best rail. What they may buy a bebaho dollar nessing. Mujama and saying. Yabaho may come be see baby. Let's see our air saying. Into here, Omocasa or can be more sena mobetoi. Dollar no sena mobetoi. About 216.db.
Yeah, back then.
No, may can
David.
About 216.db. In a see a dollar near saying. So, until the same more, Crano, Yababo Juma. In a infant say, so compare left and right. 5 cities are better Ghana for Botomo. I have for free, you can't $1 more. 5 cities, SWAT from 17, see at least enya ko benya be 11 something 12 bibi which is laudable eno no Ghana for ankasa mebuso Ghana for nyina yeden e kasa say aban na yade but ya be to energy sector said there is issues no sisi ya no aban dada no wo ho no obebo ye ka wanwe ECG wanwe Ghana ho wanwe nkane ho obetwa ye ntro ka kire nse wa solve ebe 4 months 5 months down the line yes mutual intro games na you play no and just ye nyaka mo ka kire yen e ka kire Ghana fo nya se ma solve intebane se na e ba ye kada ho intemo en se ma past government previous government so my no into president mama e ka kire say sisi an niema ye ho no e se pe kwan ne ye de solve kwan ni bi ni den e ka no o ma boka tembia ko ese o mo koje fa ngo na e besia ne etua besia ne etua sisi a baby akodu no o mo say cash and carry obe da etua ndi kwan abefa so obebo abosika ho na o de akonem ze yearly kram ze 1.2 billion bibisa
then yearly
e fa ngo no say obe this kind be ko ne de be ma wa sisi a cash and carry bibisa estimated bibisa no mutua this kind ko fa wen e ka no wo ho fiti afi besi ne nti kwan a ebe so obama yenna dumso mu no na em say energy minister ne pamfo na fa kwan paso a ye nhihye a yi nya benya kane adem
enti no mu ya sure say de PR no ka say ade adama for no hu say ya tumu no mu ya sure pa say nsemu a mko ka kire omo no saa na ebe sifa ko no
meka che wenne ene mmiri a meka che wen say fan no it will still come down dollar na can it will still come down
we are sure
I'm telling you
dollar no be say
me say boy ne date but time no me catch you yenim de me can request say
mu nim de mo ye
honorable uji tum say uji di say NDC baba power ama dollar beba this time this rate never o can mo can say yeah forward never backwards never
I said, I'm immediately a dance na memory. I don't know.
But what the campaign? And I call him and Cromas forward never. But it's see a henio. I am my papa or my papa. And I am a papa. Nancy say papa up President Mama. Ediaba and a money make.
I know more NDC for. My buying was so no. We are sure pass.
See, I told you.
Sikawe Mujia. Doom so. Hu dum so bio
eno na business PS wa kana dum so nti ne ade we aba nti there is no dum so yen
ade we ne dey
da bio
ade we ne dey
one city gap na ye kana ti one city gap na ye kana eno ne be solve this issue samai one city gap ejuma e ba be di no em so obobo so no bo anema mienu bi
renewable energy
yes
honorable at force
yeah
Ministry of Finance on my website.
Yeah.
April 23, 2025. The crisis, and this is a quote, direct quote. The crisis cannot be resolved through tariff adjustments alone.
Yes.
Say problem now you face with energy sector.
The 12
solve it. Now listen, or say we need a comprehensive reform across the entire energy sector.
Thank you.
And this say, betina to battle na bote. Wa buy ne woso. Aban papa ba social media because dollar ba from my idea. Assemble idea akọ from my idea. But asem na ye can any response now what they ba no. Any finance minister dey boy bra. And you see, this is to you and other NDC communicate.
Yes.
NDC for
free consultation.
Say who say with election now you call and they said the MPP Lucy and they said this social media for body mo so no mutimu ya ye model too much. And the danger is that yes we ni mu anu ahwe na 2020 covered by assembly na Ghana foka yes by 20 June the NDC egu true or false akufa this mama mu so free ye by June NDC egu ya mama free electricity ye by June 2020 honorable te ha o ma mu omu se man komo we true was
my rare was
honorable Tiana make 2020 MPP for an year musema but just few months 4-5 months back no na Ghana forced by June the na NDC because the government at the time had the goodwill of the people no man managing it the truth of the matter, and that is from Atoforce in Nenum to between community of finance page now.
All right.
And yet one they solve doom so. And other things, and the other things, even from my perspective, graver than because as a year two, I'm not the failure. I'm not for you.
No, but once as someone walk I have chanced that communication from the Ministry of Finance via Atoforce, Honorable. But now me beside this same question in my mind, and I was like, it is a mujiji eto where is that supposed to mean say we know in addition to other strategies be amude gu akwemu and on be use na. So I had a chance of engaging one member of parliament from the majority side, and he tells me that sesika we or mujiji ne de sesika we nkwano echo into fuel and other legacy debts in India now. But aside that, there are other issues like the ones you made mention of, the losses that we are talking about. They are making sure that they attend to those ones too. And get to one and nobody best solve way. But for say keep your lights on at their mind there. I think this is the stopgap they are talking about.
For how long?
That's another question.
Because the thing is, senior, yes, a comprehensive. Atoforce and PROF. Comprehensive needs to say, "Nyama be bring a back together." Now you be idea back up. So as it stands now, the conversation we are having is just about the 1 cedi per liter. What is the other strategy? Or the other strategies?
So they may catch on and say, "Me person over how home people." They may catch on and say, "Wa can't answer about refi." Ubisa say 1 cedi no, and no penny the bear na baby. Niama kakra ka ho, but a journey of 1,000 miles. I started with a step, right? This is the first bold step I take.
What is the second?
Into the second bold step, no. Ni na beba
solar
inti ni nyambo tre what men pray home pentem there be people men ko men pray home pentem
now is the one aka
what are the men pray home
yet to mind
yes
right
inti mo enjoy politicking
yeah na say
no me can see am at there be me
I think one thing is
yeah to am see the Ghana FAC no mummy enkan mum me enchechire o man
tell me say
o me enkan che ordinary that me enkan che ordinary Ghanaian say ye the
Dr. Adumako say eto na wo jiro me sure say eto na
David men fa e-levy
no e-levy
don't do that comparison, you know better, honorable. David, you know better. David, you cannot compare momo no and we know true or false. Men compare. Can you compare this? No, you don't compare. Hey, we are talking about energy. Yeah, without energy, no, but any different. What are the e-levy impossible yourself? Then a cast the bed then on the air. We are shown a fapping. You are shown Yentia. Honorable.
You are the first time. This is Esla point 2. And disappear.
That's a Esla never bad that Dana more pens move it. Before
the see defense by marketed see defense
0.49 and about 1.4 BB. If I quite remember, I'm saying 0. BB. Increasing them to 1 point. I quite remember.
What I'm trying to make.
Well, it's true.
Allow him
to conclude.
Yeah.
Very point in this opinion. Yet the age to say Ghana, your tax bracket is enough. That was the argument I'm making. Now to improve on our tax handles or government revenue, because government you have only two choices, either by loan or taxation. And you can say you introduce e-levy as one handler. You best show up government revenue to offset and defray other governmental costs. You be kind of know, and I'm sorry, my boy assume, my boy blow, chamber dim. Nene party from my bar. In some of my kind so, and I repeat this, I remember so vividly say, Alan Bagben, right honorable current speaker, I catch say and say, Sir, a toya ebeji, yes, sign here, death wish, yes, sign here, your ability to stay in government. Okay, into the party a bro so a chain e-levy now. Where is he? on your statesman, number Kasa, non cancer gem say, hey, say a 20-year energy, say yes, see, say yeah by what or what, Mojito. Yes or no? You won't be trying to defend it, say Monji.
Yeah, good dog. The person say yeah,
but say it's going to start on the 6th.
At the 20 America say me yen sande ile be de to say me 1,000 Ghana na e mumu ne ye sene ma mboso me asene mumu na mama me bedu ekurase ma sene bi ate me we ate stop akone e betimi ate ama inti me mfa we ma me compare me enko sa school no ne enhwe de Ghana atete apansam mo ba ye eden na energy same ahoden pa sen na wo be kan ho mfa bi anka ho ne yaba ne ye nhihye pa ne ne ma pa ne de ne egu akone ma be support a mo de one city ba be catch Ghana for say ye je one city film botom hwe the man communicate god your communicate the offer is say say waka ensempa ne ne ma mo tie nti o mo call ye no o banya abotre na me catch Ghana for nyi tie ye say me catch Ghana for nyina say ntumu bi anywhere ba ogina simple finance minister say o tie ya o ka say on Fabi Bianto, so repeat it repeatedly. If you have the video, you can play it. Into Mr. Million MB before. Debbie, eh?
It's can be free. One Ghana no, it be free.
Maybe, someone say about the same. Now, dollar no was 17. Dollar no 16. Abedu, baby, edu. Into the culture say, a discipline, a mamopa. All
right, so
yes, please.
A question has been asked.
Yeah.
And question is, says Sikano, be free.
Mama, typical example.
Typical example.
Say na offering or Casano. Catch you say, the only person who say, I'm a pump hoa, scan it is her. When is so? So fine. Intino. See and she pan say Nime di go akwan yinim pa say ento ankusi bosome biem no there will be a gap and fan say dollar or 12 cedis here na ba 11 cedis. The only thing they do is say they maintain it that gap no omo be use that gap to make sure that they will solve energy sector no yet 20 year near man into no omo be trade cautiously and
now the man yeah, I don't get it.
And mind you, OPEC will change the prices of oil.
Because some grammar raise issues.
Let me show you. To see, I'm say, fan money, 50 cedi per gallon cry.
No, but
50 cedi per gallon cry.
Yeah, what would the international market price of crude?
Yeah.
Wrong maybe agent. 64, eh?
Yes,
per barrel.
Per barrel.
Yeah.
And what happens if Ochina that's sorry? Now the price per barrel no could do be $90 per barrel. I betting.
Enu ya ye won shishepa enu won ti de me can say.
What is illegally that you can absorb the prices that OPEC gives you?
Nah.
As a government, Kufu had a problem with that. And yet, we almost had a problem with OPEC. The country, the government does not have a right to absorb that difference. It's the best show. Oh dear. And then they hear and say, "Jitum say more G2." That's the whole thing. What that say?
And free and comfortable sending. Or they compare with what is it? No, it's not like that. It is never like that. It is never like that.
Maybe so say at the end of the year, no, expected revenue are here from tax, no, saying
5.7 billion.
Sure. Now, so 5.7 billion. Mubenya wahi, mubenya free from him.
And our opinion can say, we in a person, I'd have a phone and a gun of phone, I say, or Manyama, a buying. Not the Akan. Overhead your bed, no baby, make sure, say, Obiana doing so. Finito.
Ayo.
Finito.
Ubenya Kania, and the idea of the bay. The Akano, we will solve it. Yeah, we try to say I solve it.
I wish you for SOMPA 106.5 FM market your part for God and country you with and as Abri Ugusua Wuti. That you better mon crasses ya. You two mon cranny a baby. That you call the second part of the show. Kaise Jubedi Obaswa number of a friend as soon as you be lines now. 0260196064 0260196065. Yeah, Bassis here.
Take him on the way. Electroland Abeja. Near the Munyamunyama Punning in Answabo. Wait, yeah. Thursday, yeah. 10th April 2025. Brian showroom for front and Wokumasi Techiman Kwanaso.
Yeni Roma sorry dino. And that's a backsword Nidia Nimshe.
Roberto Samsung, TCL, Media, NASCO TV, AC, fridge, gas cooker, washing machine, deep freezer, home theater, microwave, blender, kettle, rice cooker, and any more papa kahunina. Now when you baby, it can for baku 50, ebenya 15% discount. Any achedie, it's Robertadie, kahuna senyao.
Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic. Ghana had the obien himself a prostate. Na baby omutibi screening ema huni ye etu asia. Na a Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic. Anasa a kidney, a liver problem. Hofa baby and ajujo. Na the friend premature ejaculation no. Be maybe a one would offer kwakweshia. As a wood dinner huagro. As a wood tonte. Any a bra Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic. Na ya muao. A man mema mo power. A Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic. Wamu de mufua. Yari bia infections been a woho. Anasa bia wonsha wofa baby na ajujuo kidney problem prostate die Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic ahenema kokobe kumase ba ko ho eben Angel Educational Complex no na Accra hanso so die wo mu gina mu ankasa was painted baby friend share signboard no huduro na ubusasa wo pe Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic obia ebechiro for Endpoint 0244867068 and 0274234321 Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic wo mu dem fu Hajia special local foods abakade enye aduane ne aduane o ye wa aduane ne wa aduane enye nwanwa se Ghana ha ahemfo eyi akese word na akese party akese se wo pe baabi a wo be serve wo ma wo ho se ye buffet ene wo mo ye se ye local continental dishes a wo bi atwa nani a Hajia special local foods e wo hacho atomic kwan so ho no de ntie friend local foods ne se enye wo mo ye aduane a na wo mo atentam tomatoes wo apro meko apro jena apro garlic apro no de aye aduane se eya abontine aduane edi yenye ni bisa dabi Hajia suro nyame etinye nwanwa se Ghana ha etitire se ministries agencies akese eyi ahemfo na nanom ahema mo wo mo tenase no wo mo si ye bedidi ye didi eziban ye didi a wo mo se momfra Hajia special local foods efise hono ena aduane no ekoyie Ghana ha ba bia wo mutimi serve Hajia special local food upese wo fra eye 02463599921 02463599921 and answer 05947972115 05947972115 for not with them
Agofia hey brand new no I didn't tell us who the friend of Ahumeka heat patch so what ya e wo hu baby now they are tell so and let say we na do bra we see e pain and your sister na yasi ari no na oda ho no into the fat no na sister J Ahumeka heat patch I tell you yasi name a few minutes and you're ready hey bra and miss me the power after construction ya na me back and me neck pain have pa and no na ma me papa and the kutia arthritis and body pains and jeduma say Ahumeka heat patch
hey bra Ahumeka heat patch no I aduma pa me feeling heat be abra me detarian no favorite ya wa bi mo please na jume kra
I try do so say your back pain waist pain menstrual cramps and arthritis and kwadia use Ahumeka heat patch what the herbs and oil it's a ginger and cinnamon and I at phone call Alpha Duo Pharmacy Origin Chemist Farmer George Accra Palace Pharmacy Accra Buakwa Pharmacy Takrade Block Chemist Takrade and Malarigo Pharmacy Tamale the BF 0599802297 FDA Ajidodin Kratoyatum
21st Clinic aye sciatica expert sciatica no o nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no se ho techema eno ene ye fa ne sciatica na etimi bubu o to ase ka wo se dwe wo siremu wo je ho ba bia enye na no na 21st Clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu ye ntia basobo o magye no wo Ghana ha ene amono ne enyasem ketewa wo mu gi international awards ahodo mu gi local awards ahodo na anu nso na wo mu bie the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa bibrim ha no ebi ni baabi a gi 21st clinic nko wo mu di bibiduro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama de ba ko a wo ma gidi wo mu pa no sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa diabetes ne hypertension ne ade Ghana ha baabi a wo mu ho enkran ha sese ye wo Tantra Hill runabout se wo fi enkran ba ye wo wonsa ni faso uframa saman so na eba nso a wonsa bonkum so ho na wo behu ye 0540311311 0540311311 na 21st clinic still wo me sciatica expert
Abusafo because Adam Asesem with us with SOMPA 106.5 FM market you park baby obiaro and the check you baby lines na tum 0260196064 0260196065 ya baba moding na yakwa ahmado so na yeni owura dankanamwa edin komo ono aye the executive secretary the chamber of petroleum consumers in Yanwa Manswa, Yanan Babedin Crobo. Radan can I pop to saying?
My men chiao, Mehoye, Megidisamos Mohoye.
So, Yahweh, pa, Yada say a flower, what you say, when you bedin como. And Yabia Yanan Chiesa, Yamia Duma, at that 15th of June 2025, a petrol, and as a fango boy at the pumps, you know, a dear bono, a baba from Anyabiano Santi. Musakana.
My main entry Musay. It is early days yet. Offer price aggregate now. The 14th day. And now Obia submitted the indicative price. And there is a 9th and I'm a boy. And clearly no, a few days to come no. You will get a much clearer picture. But based on aggregation for the past few days, bare 9 days, and clearly a bono was a conform rather than Tebekosoro.
Wow. And that is what we are anticipating, right?
Yes, the anticipation is a Bekoform. Yes, a window we are no. Now DDC ex-refinery price. Meet me a casanenum bear 7 cedi and a kakra. As I speak with you and Neno, a bit more the end 6 cedi. And so clearly, there's every indication that Buono, rather than going up, will come down. But how much we cannot put a finger to, it could take a bit of time to determine.
Wow. Very grateful for these explanation or the Arthur, but we want you to help us with something. The driver unions and the that 1 cedi on every liter of fuel you buy at the pump, they are being told says Carol and the X pump price and what the various pumps no CCCR. Is this something we can believe and trust? This kind of explanation from government officials?
Minyaya nanka no so enko ye some promise from the political class. Chrono say even when it's a fact, not you're politicizing a pet, it becomes difficult for a section of the community or the population to also accept it as factum. The truth is that who hold all factors constant. Now offer the fact that the international market is favorable. Now offer or currency is favorable. Now prices not reduce kakra. The net effect of 1 cedi against ABI Betumo on the 16th because of a JRA communique a buy Nanka was and Nanka Yasha 1 cedi but it has been suspended forthwith. So offer those indicators actually say back up to the 16th. They are sure say and the possibility is a poor price ever drop you on the 16th. what it will now mean is that there will be a net off somewhere. The net off could be 30-40 pesos. Say yeah, tip a bonus so na yeah so be a 60 pesos. It means that the ever can hold truly no any one Ghana a bear 40 pesos and I'm a boy. The answer as a yeah so maybe on the 16th yeah so 20 pesos. It will mean that one Ghana naka 80 pesos be the system would have to assume. And whichever way you look at it, there will be some adjustment upwards. But the truth is, it might not be the whole one Ghana city.
And to money dear, a bet me ba ewa pumps no mu, but enya one CD and a bear into more, I bet me up show up ewa the various pumps. Say in Tiasia, menya through communication, Sapepe Netiara.
Sir, and a almost said the consumer would always be looking for the impact. And yeah, but one Ghana. Now, for some conditions, either international or local, either say foreign prices or no, favorable. The currency has been very good in Tiabuano, can be sustained, and basically for more. Sir, the two no net offer, you will be able to determine the actual impact or change. And so, as I speak with you, communicate no, one Ghana cities. Say, yeah, the tax, a new tax line, energy debt, and EDSS, levy na the better no. The full effect is one Ghana cities. But it might be rightly timed to say, yeah, on the 16th, not by the 16th, international market, as if former Kakra, I see the news so I appreciate it, and come in no benyan to so bear 40 pesos. So 192 of 40 pesos are now 160 less 40 pesos. You are simply going to come to about 60 pesos. Into the full extent of or the effect, we'll be able to determine by the 16th. But possible, say, one Ghana, but for anyone to say, there will be no effect at all. No, they should be careful because, there will be no effect now. And then no, be no more on the 12 CD 30, 12 CD 50. Now, or best sorry, 12 CD 70 or 13 CD. You would have lied to them. Young communicated carefully, but the possibilities still exist to say. One Ghana by the 16th because the factors that determine fuel pricing, whether upwards or downwards, pointed downwards more than upwards.
So, can we make this story say, according to Duncan Amwa, our executive secretary, Emma Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, and say, what kind of say, there will be some increase at the pumps, but those increase, Encon could do 1 CD now, on every liter of fuel.
You won't be far from right. You'll be very, very spot on. Potentially increase, Beba, but we may not see the whole one Ghana CD net effect at the pumps come 16th because there are indications that international market prices could decline. Kakra, and the two and net offer now be the full effect of tax and levy na they are to petrol whether I buy 70 pesos, whether I buy 60, whether I buy 40, whether I buy 90 pesos, but whatever it is, we don't expect a bonus better by one Ghana. Now, I bet to keep the whole one Ghana tax na bano. Possible say exorbitant, but it may not be up to the one Ghana fully. And see, you get some kakra also, but it won't be also up to the one Ghana tax na year chain.
Ukasana Ukars, the world market price, who make some references to the world market price, and the fact that Ghana, you see the near appreciate it. Let's look at the reverse, where Sabri, maybe in the next 2 weeks, we are told, say, world market price, a cost and the city also depreciates to the US dollar. What then happens to the prices at the pumps?
In petroleum pricing, it's just like economic fundamentals. Anytime you find demand go up and supply doesn't go up, price will go up. Anytime you find supply go up, demand doesn't go up, price will drop. So anytime you find currency depreciating, now the international market is stable poor, you need to pay more to recover on the currency from sales now. Anytime again world market now we see the noble depreciated there, a double jeopardy. We have the effect of both. As we speak, the reverse is the case where we see the looks to be doing around 10.2, 10.23, 10.18. Baby, it's yeah, I settle around the 10 Ghana per liter. International markets from your tracking over the past few days, we've also seen some $7 adjustment downwards because OPEC decided, say effective June, they were going to add some barrels to oil levels, almost exported. And see, once that happens, which means that the supply increases, demand doesn't increase, you will have a glut more in the system than you actually need. In the abono esotic akra. Once a bonus will take akra, clearly the Ghanaian will not complain. The reverse is where the problem is. So better. I'm sure when that time comes, we'll have a conversation whether one city tax or no, and Kosonya one city and buying any home. But for now, the effect will not be that terrible on all of us, because like and see all the two noble more, it will net off and it will give you an effect. The effect is likely to be positive as cost, but it might not be the whole one Ghana city now on the pumps effective systems are being.
Mr. Information you ask is here. Minority declares nationwide campaign against the energy sector levy. Have you seen this particular story?
I am aware.
You are aware?
Demand for it to be removed altogether. They are aware.
And then what's your response? Senamuji issue is if
we are happy to pay taxes. No. Obekaya. Where I sit, going for this tax would have been my first option if Ujaimia. I would have gone for resolving the issues now at the Kanebano. Again, only energy ministry didn't come out. You get the sense that almost here they are light crude oil to power your thermal plant. Not bad. Again, Ubebisa said, is that the only option we have to power the thermal plant? And you get the understanding that, we have the benefit of gas, which is 50% less than using light crude oil. What the power thermal plants, And if I have something that will cost me 50%, naturally I will tilt towards that which will cost me less. And maybe we need to look at the energy mix or the fuel mix. The power plants. Should we continue to import light crude oil very expensive and insist we need money to pay for it? Or gravitate towards gas or no more? I'm sure you have the answer. Obia, and you're happy that
All right, so my angel why my nasi so only in a dinkobo, and then we thank you for the explanation and as a brief insight with your mind live here on SOMPA 106.5 FM for God and country. But I would one day expect you over here in the studios. I will give you an invitation for you to join us over here.
Yeah, me too. Mo be nti eda obe frame no meba.
Mati. Evidence pa. Duncan amwa say yo TMB na producer me ba cho here man invitation na ombra na yendi nkobo. Ima what your conversation no?
Prof Meti conversation.
I'm coming here. Okay, what your conversation? So say then on your free mo.
With the experience now, Canadians say Bibia than I come and one.
Who say, oh, my young say before the 15th, no, or anticipate say, well price, no, a bit me abba form. So what I say, by $7 margin B. And again, he says that, say a share a year Yankasa CD no so a performance so I near my debate me a kui and to Sahan near Manket and Keteno and Nona I say Omodi aso mu who could dare your cop pumps na even who say gab no ebe but he says there you be whom to muki to ebi
Eduwa. Then I can. Eduwa. Me didn't so Eduwa.
There's a minority in parliament. Some we demo over one tax, one Ghana city tax. No, I know. As I said, what you say?
Say, we there. Never do how. Say me who say minority for ya. Ayana means omon pese Ghana be koso.
Sa.
Omon yero di say be chechere oman no. Ya catch Ghana for nyina even in pono se men twantwa one MPB am engage no asem ne bae no unzo ye pass in tentem asem ne bae no me ntin pese mchiri
and I do 11 PM
see obuhia o hotel bi sa committee for now 22 no mo agree bibia and so mo san call back koye adeche ye wie because of party politics intin there bi o matwe mo former MP only it goes to the committee on answer but omatwe mo say ntisa ye chechire o my mesre
na munim say chechire o my mo say mo apens we be your mo na we be you this is the country you do me I do you
honorable what experience of parliament
the truth is that committee no say no NDC might be 12, MPP just 4. Inti what's the moon could you?
Oh, Debbie.
No. So now they're back. Inti, let me tell you. Yes. Inti, even if you are not for it, your vote will not matter. To say no more whether MPP was there or not, it wouldn't have mattered. No credit. Inti at the committee level as it stands now, no, 60-40. 60% NDC, 40% MPP, and no matter what you are. Or numbers will not add to nothing. Indeed, as a committee, if even you prefer your opposition to it, it will not matter.
But according to the committee, they agree.
No, that's agreement. They'll take a decision. They'll take a decision.
Taken, but there's a dissenting view which cannot make any
impact on the decision.
And let me add, say, even within the MPP, when the caucus meets, some dissent, but at the end of the day, the majority carries the vote.
Sure.
In general interest, at the committee level, the committee not judgment, you have nothing to do. You have every right to come and tell the rest of the people, say, at the committee level, no, we were not in support. Granted, the committee takes precedence. Some call at 6-4, and now say 12-4. That decision they take here. Now people now can say committee not judgment. Rightly so, yes, because 12 against 4. Move vote saying crana. Kosiaga, what man say? Ain't or can't no say at the committee level the chairman has signed say a jatumu but yemu for idea we are not in support and we I know there's nothing wrong with that but what man say.
All right, so thank
you do me I do you
aye
and it's wrong mine
I feel now him
David
yen to sa
moto ne different
yen there be yen to sa
anu ye din che
no there be yen to sa yen to yen o man ya chichire o nti mesra yen anu man before ya to
abayi no anu ye
problem no say mo issues mo hwe na mo nsesi mo fie na o man na ya chichire ne ye ko anim na mo kan ho ne yen chichire
but Dr. Kisi,
yes.
You know, we are told by Duncan say the full effect of that one city, you know, per a year the market determinant, you know, and you be feel sad, you know, about the pump, you know, you be feel cry, you be feel something small.
My main kind of pain.
Okay.
Whether the net effect less at the pump, I don't know, one city no more if you are.
Okay.
And it will go anka and fasudima companies now are buying taking it. Into reduction in oil prices, anka you never Filipano are buying SMU feeling no
waje
or that is it. I can't see I say you can be in few be able to.
Na
say Ghana for me that's it.
All right, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
What we say, I think of na this uncommon, and I made a suggestion. The only way a better possible say you be pump. Na you say the one city out was just what Mr. Duncan talked about. But with the minority demonstration, the truth is that Black Obna, why now? Because you're teacher of mine. And on my teacher, any back of team, we should sit and dialogue. As a communications person, may feel the development communication. What we are interested in is and sana you be taking decision biano. Ye new common. Communication who has say and we the firm. The way a manner or modesta
certificate of agency.
Well, opposite or subjecting to strict communication analysis. You'll be wondering the rationale behind the whole thing. What about him? I do the suma ni padano. Say yes, you can say you see ubi could be a or die, no, or so no be a deal from. Why would the bill or the act have to come at 12 midnight? Say yeah, kodao, yeah, and tempo PBI, sorry, near pass it under a certificate of emergency. And then no musru. It appears and then comes back to the fact to say omunim say omu ye MPP during the e-levy passage ni ade no enti no omunim say TBA no say omu open up for discussion sa dissenting views ni ade, but that is what makes democracy. We have to dissent. At the end of the day, it is in those dissenting views no and you be who the right cause to chat.
All right,
what I say. And the question is nanka ene was enke hu sa reflection.
Sure.
Di enti ama.
Also, that's a chamber of communication. Communication. A chamber of a friend is saying. No. As I'm can say no. I've not made that. Me not for
electronic.
Oh, there be and the Prudential ambassador and say the chamber of oil marketing companies, you know. Raise issues. They are not ready with GRE, and it's for that reason why I don't know. I'm taking.
So that is and question. Some are not making any say. Unim said these are key stakeholders. Say me the court parliament. Na say ye pass here. Enya me abane na meji discano. Yes, I'm crofo we na meji discano. The enti na one more mama ne. And I think I even heard some conversation say your trauma or more either Friday or Sunday.
Friday. It was a Friday. It was a holiday, and that is their complaint.
But you
that is their complaint because
no senior. Bro, I'm not there. Can say no. T. We say make us development communication. I say ye nim common. But the truth is that time and I only meeting common also matters very well. So ni ye moi na nke o say ye broader consultation before I dey be call. Which into the mama and say omati. Sometimes we say silence means consent. But in development communication, say silence means dissent. Masri memba mamuna meeting. And ana earlier na make catch say someone here the two MPP 2020 e be beto mo. By doing the this year go afa enu di say my enkoto ba MPP am na ni ana ho ankaware. Into mesremo let us not discount the fact to say aban no anni nkomo before or the but it's also not too late to engage. So if the minority wants to engage in national demonstration nationwide a year, the object is not to court disaffection for the government, but it was said to Muponi yes a year will say a quite papa benson ye befa I solve this issue. Oh, say yet no yet it's Maya. No, so what kind of idea was you call other angles, yet it's Maya. Demonstrations are one of those means you usually register in displeasure. Now, but
firstly, no, and then Palm Way and some bedroom. They walked out.
So discussion in course of parliament now on the floor. Minority leader can say only as we the
yeah.
Whether it is true or not, we are going by the who TV so near TN. Almost say more engage you even at leadership. Right? So minority next state in the case. But me make us say if omo per se omo co striker, the intention should not to court disaffection for the government or even for the levy, but it's to open up for discussion. Na met na say okay, aban wo say one city the etu ayate. But the other shortfalls now and a war sector no. Until by the time we will leave the discussion table, no, Obia wasibia was away. It shouldn't be an easy route to just say a pass cost no the amount of consumer because you take we know so. See, technicality in the because you need scale free bottom, but you need scale free bottom.
All right.
Last word. On-end income. We technically like on-end income.
Yeah.
What do you call it? On-end income. Sikanke wo na abayaji. Sikanke wo na abayaji. Modi sika.
What says?
No. What's it? On-end income.
Yeah.
Is this the first time on-end income? Say Yaju Obidie.
Oh,
e-levy, no, and yes, I have penalty.
No, who said Debia make us say, yeah, no, dear, your catch and say, Beji. And no one didn't talk a shy. And then, dear, almost Wabeji, no more than the e-levy. Hold on a minute, I say.
Okay, Mamma Kwan, Manoson, I'm native for an income. But before that, no, you dog. Now, Honorable Kennedy Japan, Kasa or Kasa, one. What's it? Don't tell me I've not seen. And again, Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, I can't. The pains there. I have brand a champion. I didn't know that.
Okay, Didika, I think at this point in time,
yeah,
me, Kaka Mekana say, my catcher in for say, yes, social media communication, part in here, strict rules. Me and try my buying any rules of engagement on social media. Your constitution, no. Yeah, even email kwenye. Inti bibi a yedrum pe so yedrum. Say na young men ni bi ni mba ni bi to me. I can be actual opinion. I think we have to cut it. Me Bill Gates in a year age obi be me bisa me mun say no say hey. Mesika Samun drew Bill Gates level. Now me to me abekana worry mu and
some good.
We all need to have some limitation to send a disrespect to your elders. You're penning for. Semin Shrunka. It is getting lost in our tradition. And now Sempo or he be yedianya, you're sending a canon. And they also say propagate in seminal. Now, me can't say for me, dear, moving forward, my sworn priority in Kabum. My sworn priority revisiting the values of my MPP. And along the line, no, the beba and falling that there. Men come some. Now, Kakameka,
but any worry to you?
Oh, me no. In truthfulness, some of the things are factual. Now, unfortunately, there's a culture in the party, as I say, sometimes okay factor na enumum near do subo be heading ever ball. And I think one, that culture has to change. Some cultures are the tuntum na empo tuntum no still go for me say make us say tuntum. I think no dear for me personally. Our culture, no, excuse me to say, Wabam Pesuaso, Dr. Adbanko Kisinya 66,000 votes.
Sure.
This time 40,000. So ete by over 20,000 votes. Now me can now Bufua as a party member, then there's something wrong with us. Rather no, I see a G2 say yes. Under Dr. Adbanko Kisi's tenure, whether they like me or not, me police 66,000 votes. And another person tenure a year 40,000. Period. Now for how I ever solve a gap no between the 60,000 and how I be year 40. That's what I say. Then we move on. But here's a case our compa says to say no, even when you tell the truth, say, Masa, your votes do esote by over 20,000.
Yeah.
You're a solution now. If you cannot even start that conversation, then we are doomed.
Okay, Mabin kwa mano se na mindi nkomo we sisi a. Eja ne tie se minority in parliament abri the omabestegi demo over this 1 cedi tax on every liter of fuel. And you know, yanya ora honorable Yao Frimpong ono MP for Mansun Kwanta yanya no ahomar so a yene ni bedi enkomo. Honorable Rapom to say
Opening me so now the moment correct me big akra me dini ye Yao Frimpong Ado.
Yao
Frimpong Ado.
Oh. Okay.
Manso Dubia MP.
Manso Edubia MP. Yeah. Okay, Manso Edubia MP. Yanyari jese sabre demobi eba be koso. Anye biara wona omra shebedwemu ho sisi a ye na tiefo a wo mutie SOMPA 106.5 FM for God Encounter adwumadie no dem poten na koso ewo emra shebedwemu sisi a na nsembe na mwaka.
No, penny me that say no mencha we tiefo nyina. Na because mama kwaba so on cry not meaning about bakra and the mama bakra that say ye die mu anu no ye be ko se ni modi in komo pa ai unim ebi o se ye se bi odi actually ba ye odi be fie no ono de one sense be fie because na asembia ni ho na kasembia ni ho because abadi abambia ba e se onya period bia otumi de tutu ne niema abe tradition in any democracy say if we say honeymoon abia ba wonya that period no enjoy goodwill of the people na let us say what me tutu ne niema we ni ministers now I any budget na odinema tutu akwem say the be ya manfo eho beto no but we say abamu democracy need is to say yeni imamifo no assign so maybe a social contract. Now what sign social contract now? They say a baby we work from there. Now any panel after no more and bia no more fee say NNT say refer abana ba for ban. Sa conform say omunya aba ho faso. So until the social contract no. But obesha a baby aba that period now make an only money then onya free because that time na ba no or the hash and say be ba ama nipa ehun atwe no ati they see of my sebejom see do be saying na they say ya now so da here so obeka ya abanda da no ya buy na da kwakufa do aba MPP aba obeko no or your budget to constitutional obligation election year bia na bane so ye budget bi to ho a say onukra na ban na besa ba say yenya appropriation bi to ban ko no ba obetumi dia ye adwuma. Number 2 said if we say 3 months na edi na nimu no na afa na oba ba ye adwuma no apeska dey say abada da no peska to na otumi e dia ye adwuma afei the who in say abada da no anya akwadro wa peska to homa wa ye budget bosum yensa eti bosum yensa no mu no na say wo aban wo ye budget aban wa ye budget wa ye o hihye nyina ma ye kura ka say akwadrofo budget any say a growth o me bia be ko nanim a ye hwe the GDP growth no ye de ka say o ma na e ko nanim na o ma ya ye ko ye nim 5.7 GDP growth na say about for na say or the edam 4% ne 4.2%. That is my science yes so the emphasis so oya hihye na taxes bi on mo na wasi obi yet on mo nuisance taxes obi yet yo and should because manifesto promises and a campaign promises in Tiaja some yet you want my me the development consultant no cranny so some pa yeah bye crano 2017 make a set taxes in nipa chia and no more geno taxes and you feel what because obi taxes any chair thing say one person of each chair people will resist it. If you go out Muciano, let that one managing here next kind about what you get the papa and Kofonania so fine, yeah. There was so by politicians. We don't learn from history. History is repeating itself. And then history be repeating the whole. Now politicians here shut here. It is about they see here. I to forcing budget or the buy, and then you're on the budget or your president in the budget. And Onobe Redeemer president, you know, that Sandan is sharing it here. It's the budget now or the buy him. Or she said, she stick a seminar after we start sniffing on. Nothing, I'm maybe about the tone. I'm not your bed, and you have to hear. Maybe can I say, Fabian, I bet you papa say, Obenyasika, no what's in the fele, that gap now about the Dahono. As I just, I for to know our car for Betty. The Becca minority for a Becca CNTJ. Yeah, 183 plus 4 independents, Rebecca 187. Omo Ebegua for so, Omo for so budget near Puvie. In that budget, no crown. You electricity, I can be a Dawa, Yicha, or energy sector, I can be a Dawa, Yicha. Told me about 95 pesos qua a shame. Dada. I did that. If you say, who's the one dear China, fortunes as and then I'm in charge. And Donald Trump will be American president. Or they, you say, tariffs and send me by, you are so many China near the four. We are seeing a buy man, there's $1 no, I want the starting a perform. I'm a dollar, I'm a form, I'm a Ghana class. There's a share the idea that I could
honorable, a young brother, but you're not just saying. Nyame aduma da kwada oba be kan sawa hananka anyway di enkomo ebe dey yeah and no ba da be na strike no mo be sha ase
o de ma woman to Valencia after the policy na strike no I correct ba ko say enye MPP kwa strike
oh enye MPP ba okay
deputy strike magana for nyina now say I organize a labor I almost a fan we cry. Obia, Omina Wofisa, idea we say. Because a bad thing. Oh, and I did the assume. Your friend say, I'm Robiano Mudibai. Obia,
you better say, but Dr. Adumago is a chairman of studio.
Doctor,
I said the body of you or Baba Joe body, the body of you.
All
right, that's so about Hokwa, no about Kobo. Yeah, because we shall. All right, so Ebusha for honorable your friend Pon, MP for Manson, and Dubiara to say you need the Comoro. Or see dates in the Nyambai, that almost start on your children, the Nyambai. But my Efa call is Kakra, bear 2 and a 3B, 02 60196064 0260196065. So open so line so my new udin komo. These are the numbers to call 0260196064 0260196065. Two friends are numbers here. Ebitimi edin komo. But we have just about some 5 minutes to wrap up the conversation. But Ima what's a bit chatro? Be bacho, my main for call away answer. Hello.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, me pass 1 minute to say.
We wow me my coffee food Catamanto.
Hey, Catamanto boko there.
You are doing them on pipe, but I can buy with Quadia.
I buy we and can yen.
Oh, David.
Okay.
Obia. okoto petrol 1 liter wodi 1 cedi atoso na just auto and I don't say move for half na EBS to 4 cedi I can say 50% so what I say and you fair because I remember yes and you buru all the way mamentia minia MPP ni all mamentia Dr. Brand a champion just to go there from Pond Safia Muhammad and Dr. Snell at Japan minia
yeah
your best Ghana for you now mutie when you know come to yam na NDC be minister amamna na mo tunu because yeah the levy buy mo see anya and a buy ko see and now what to assume 40% you can say like 40% assume 4% now we start compound 1 series and 2 petrol as a driver for an Casania di mo anka be the bedu
never as a kafia say nchiremu amudi aman ne say ukona koto fuel no kra filling station wa ohun 1 cedi ne kra se yaje so ne yaje
aha na ana me say awu say driver for ye beto aba no obu nyina de o support to command your mama say your mama na ebe ye o majonka and no one would odi yemu it must say 2028 you beto aba and your MPP Dr. Brandon Chapon
Dr. Brandon Chapon what's the beto aba Dr. Brandon Chapon
oh pasa kai
the kasamafo the timedimi ana the kasamafo the kasamafo e dia tudwa say wasi papa na nkasa na onu ana tim pon kra de onya mfa tudwa so be bad aso o ye feasibility studies wosusu waja tu so oba
oh media say o baka o basa kai the Ghana for come man to you
me check atamanto fo jira wai ya kafia we want 02601960640260196065 we betimi afre you befa one more call pe da yemfa call e bia na ye de djumadi na aba na wiye 02601960640260196065 ke yenye ne enko
okay prof na me can say we say backstage na menua Brown Abner can say say education now nkoyi and nyina was because communication and say nika anko earlier and as a government no move we into mo for say going forward no if there is anything amu ho say ehun be hia say mo de be ba mo hihye mu a mo mani panenti ase mu because as a still na campaign mood ni jubilation no e da so wo mutim because right after sir ade pass year 5th June no I was on social media say as a student of communication there social media me life we share communication you know mo contract say social media mo dey agenda say we share the line of argument and no more any posters any audio mo post here that is why we have this miseducation right now into going forward no as Oman said the wa case here to Oman no if there is the need say ye be ye bibi ye hu say we hia say ye be ya mo ma ye nto ye bo ase na ye ntena se ni nkomo ansa na ye tu anamon say ye be A B or C Prof Medimano be
okay so you better ask maminko a dog in chain dog if I saw you call what's my chat
I think sir Ghana mine we dey make customer MPP for mo my fan ka bon nyejuma na yen komo a that social media no yen so and yet same na near the tuja and social media never forgets I think so be a bit careful before you post anything
but I say minia cool Quabrampon, be much of a
Meda Obibia ase. I'm say adie by, I'm say Munchri Munaka.
Adie.
Into the message.
Would all say Biasa
adie. Education in Uncle ye. But as time goes on, about the church, Mama Ghana for say, now make we no. Men can say the one city be a baby can. But about the chemo will be at it in the sre, yen other side. No. So, Mom Tia say, Mom for education in co. And the woman, you have a church, Ghana for you. Now, I'm a Saman MP. Said I'm a friend, Ninjumapa, Ninjumapa, you are my Saman.
Oh, no, not anyway. You're back, you're a friend of God. Oh, bomb.
No. I mean,
catch us up in Miss They
catch me, Johnny.
No, catch them dead.
Mitchell.
Let me catch them dead.
Yaquine. MP for 8 years. I demonstrated against the very government. Parliament, you can see for yourself.
See what?
You started.
ne remember masama yati de na be before
oba de no waye dem part wa ya monumental
mama oba me lecture area we chip compound amuja atita pansa oba university kama
dabe no renovate no
in December before the election kama siam no opa mo cameras
now before the election me after the election the why
after the election siam me catch up bra me community
masa hwe
toilet amame osi toilet me community
me that's
okushibia electoral
Fichi man foi Electroland